Hello guys and welcome back. Now, no face is being shown today, okay? I just can't be bothered. So you're just going to enjoy my voice for the next 20 or so minutes. Now, please make it known that I did not film me decorating the interior in this video. That will be in the next video I post, hopefully, if I get around to it. We'll see how we go. But I wanted to just kind of build a family home. I have done this a long time ago, and honestly the build was awful, absolutely terrible. So I thought I kind of just wanted to try again, see if we've made any improvements, and to be honest, I don't know if we have or not. But I would like to do the interior in the next video because I kind of want to make lore for every person that lives in the house, because I've been watching people that do builds for really specific sims. And I feel like that's such a good idea, and I feel like it's a lot easier to imagine what you want the rooms to look like when you have a specific sim in mind for those rooms. Apologies, my cat was meowing at me, but now we're back. So this is a 2-story. It's quite a big home actually. I do end up making it a little bit smaller than what it is currently, but it is actually quite a big build. Now, please bear in mind that I do have a new computer, so if it looks like I keep doing really stupid things, it's because I'm still learning how to do all the controls on a new computer. So you're just gonna have to bear with me for that one. But I am building in Newcrest. Now, I do just want to create one big save file of like all the houses I build, but that just seems to not happen because like I've had a lot of bad luck with my previous. This is ages ago on my old computer. I lost all my saves, tried again, lost those again. Now I have a new computer. I messed up, built something, lost everything. So now we're kind of starting again, but that's okay. You know what? We're getting there. And I think I know what I did wrong now, so hopefully it will not happen again. So obviously here I am making the house a bit smaller, like I said. I just felt like it was a little too broad. So, and also not to mention, I do have to decorate this house eventually. So I wanted to keep that in mind in terms of how much space I was giving myself. That being said, the backyard is huge. Now, the lighting is kind of terrible on this lot. At one point I do turn the house around just to have a quick look at it in better lighting. But the lighting just kind of sucks in Newcrest. I feel like no matter which lot you build on, there always seems to be some sort of issues with the lighting, so please bear with me. But I really liked the roofing on this house because it was so simple. I feel like I have said this a million times before, but roofing sucks. I'm just so bad at it. That being said, I think I've kind of realized that I just don't like roofs. Hear me out. Like in real life, I'll be driving down the road, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I was talking to my boyfriend about this, and I was looking at all the roofs. And I was like, I just don't think I like how roofs look. Just in general. Like, I don't think I've ever really seen a roof that I look at and I'm like, that's a nice roof. And I don't know don't ponder that too deeply. But yeah, I don't know. I was just came to the realization that maybe roofs are just the problem. That being said, I do suck at making roofs. So that was pretty much just a long spiel to say that I actually don't mind this roof compared to other roofs I have done in the past. That being said, this is a very, very, very simple roof. Like, it's not exactly rocket science, this one here. But I don't know, like, it's just like a suburban home was the vibe I was going for. I'm just excited to decorate it more than anything, to be honest. I feel like it'd be fun to decorate. Obviously, even at the end too, like, there is the final exterior, but I'm obviously going to change it, and I also will add terrain paint. But I have heard that sometimes when you do it, save it and then go back to it, all the terrain paint is gone. So that's why I didn't bother doing it in this video, because I hate doing terrain paint as it is. So I'm not doing it twice. So that'll be in the next video as well. Like, even the backyard and stuff, I haven't really furnished it or anything like that yet, because I obviously don't know what type of sims are going to live here. So I just don't want to jump the gun and then have to redo it later on anyway. But yeah, super excited about this. There's just a cute little patio at the front. Every time I see houses like this, I get so jealous. I want a patio like that. That sounds really nice, actually. Now, as for the roof for the front, it does clip out the side of the house. Not right now because I like shortened it, but I'll move it back in a minute. And I know that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it honestly doesn't bother me that much. At first I thought it did, but I kind of just got used to it. So I don't know if it's like actually not bothering me or if I just got so used to it. Sorry, that was my dog in the background. Or I just got so used to it that it didn't matter anymore. And she is coming to join us. Hello, Snoodle. What's going on? You're probably wondering who I'm talking to, aren't you? You're probably very confused right now. Also, I'm not actually using a mic for this voiceover. Usually I use a separate camera with a Bluetooth microphone to do the voiceovers, and then I like export it and clip it to my build, but I actually am just recording it straight off my iMac. So I don't know. Oh my gosh, now she's drinking water in the background. Can you hear it? Thank you for that, Snoodle. I forgot what I was even saying now. Oh yeah, no, so I'm just, oh my goodness. Girl. She is staying hydrated though, so good for her. But as I was saying, I'm just filming this straight to my iMac. So I don't know what the audio is going to be like. So hopefully it's good because I'm filming for 24 minutes, so it's going to be really annoying if I listen to this back and it's absolutely horrible. I probably still will post it because I don't got time to re-film it. But I was kind of going back and forth with the colours of the build for a very long time. I do actually end up going for a blue Suburban, which you will obviously have seen by the thumbnail. But I don't know, I was looking back and forth. I was thinking maybe doing an all-white house, but I feel like that's where I go wrong usually. I feel like the house needs a little bit more character. Obviously, a blue Suburban isn't exactly a house full of character, but I also kind of feel like it goes well with the world that it's in as well, which is Newcrest, which I think I already said. Is it Newcrest? I'm kind of just guessing that. I actually don't know if that's what it's called off the top of my head, but I feel like it does kind of go with the vibe. Obviously, there's no other buildings in this town at the moment, but I feel like this is a good starting point. That being said, I probably realistically could have built 2 small homes on this one lot. Like I probably didn't need one huge house as such, but I mean, I don't mind it, and I think it's like in a cute part of the world as well. But yeah, I think definitely the next time I build on a similar lot like this in Newcrest, as I'm building up the city, I'll probably do 2 or 3 like small suburban style homes. I also do want to try building like a restaurant or a cafe or something like that, because that will be extremely out of my comfort zone. Like I've never really tried to do that before. Obviously with the businesses and hobbies pack, I think I have made like a paint studio or something like that before, but it wasn't like a standalone business thing. That was just like the bottom floor of a house rather than, yeah, like a standalone business. I've been watching this girl, I can't remember her name, I cannot remember it at all, but I've been watching her videos like every night of her doing like long form builds, and that's something I definitely want to do at some point, where it's just like calming and relaxing and you just watch her build a house, but it takes like 4 hours and she's literally just chatting and building for 4 hours. That being said, I feel like I'll really struggle with talking for 4 hours straight. Like I run out of breath so easily, and I feel like when I'm concentrated, I just forget to talk. So I would also have to hope that my computer wouldn't just randomly stop recording during that 4 hours. And I don't know if I can trust that. So, but I feel like it would be fun. I definitely want to give it a go at some point and just see if I like it. But before I do that, I do want to get a better mic so that I can connect it to my iMac, and so you won't hear me clicking my mouse every 2 seconds. So, you know, that's on the to be bought list before I give that a go. Now, listen, I was really struggling with this chimney. I don't know why I was struggling with it so much, but I just was. I do end up doing just like a standalone one on the side. I don't know what I was thinking here. Like looking at this now, I'm just so confused as to how I was struggling with it so much. But, you know, this is actually such a pretty part of the map. Like I've never really played with a sim in this town before. Like I've built in it a few times, but I never like played with a sim in this town before, and it's like really pretty, like that little fishing spot to the right of the house and stuff like that. I feel like that'd be really fun gameplay. Obviously you just kind of need to build up the town first because there is nothing there. So yeah, this is what I mean with the chimney. I end up just like plopping one on the side because it just works better than me trying to chuck one on the top. Now, obviously, I kind of have to remember that's there and put an actual fireplace there. Watch me forget. And I just don't put a fireplace in this build, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, this is the original paneling I was going with. And to be honest, I do still like it, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, no, I feel like I'm going to regret using this and I want to use something else. So there's a lot of back and forth here. And by a lot, I mean a lot of back and forth here. I could not decide whether I wanted to do like different colors, like some parts of it, like the bump outs a different color to the rest of the house, or like brick was an immediate no. Okay, don't. We don't need to talk about it. It was an immediate no. But yeah, I decided maybe brick would be good. Absolutely not. I don't know what it is with roofs. I always really gravitate to the darker color. Like I think it's like black or really dark brown, which is fine, but it means that obviously there's a lot of colors I can't use because it doesn't, sorry, that was not a sentence, because it does not contrast well with some colors. So that usually makes me gravitate towards the lighter colors to match the darker roofing. That being said, this color, like the dark gray and the dark roofing, I actually don't mind at all. I think it's actually quite nice, but that was not the vibe I was going for. That being said, I don't think I really knew what vibe I was going for going into this clearly. So yeah, this is me still trying to mess around with the bump outs. This just looked extremely modern, and that's kind of not what I was going for. Like obviously it is still a modern-esque house, but that was just not the energy that I was going for, especially because it's like paneling, you know what I mean? It's not like brickwork or anything like that, or tiling rather. So I felt like it just didn't look right. And this is me realizing that the chimney looked silly. It honestly is a bit random, but I feel like it does add a good contrast to the house because otherwise it is, it is symmetrical on both sides. So I feel like at least that gives it a little bit of dimension. Oh my goodness, look at me using all these fancy words. Me and paneling, we have a great time. What can I say? I feel like it's just the lighting I was really struggling with to find out whether or not I actually liked how anything looked. And then this is when I kind of got the idea of doing blue. Now, the blue did not look good in this swatch. I was like, I don't know. I thought it would eat up. Like, I thought it would look amazing, and then I did it, and I was like, I don't know. There's something about that I don't love. And then I almost went for a crazy color, but I didn't because I thought that I would probably regret that because that's not the vibe I'm trying to go for. But I felt like I just kept gravitating towards the same swatches, which was a bad idea because it just took me so much longer to find what I was looking for. And then this is the moment where it all clicked. And I was like, you know what? I actually quite like that. And I feel like it needed, those little white corners of it. I feel like the build just needed that. Just a little more contrast than just straight blue. And then I used the same wallpaper, but like a dark gray one for the chimney. I can't remember if I changed that or not. But I obviously just didn't want all the house being the exact same color. Now I moved on to just adding some stairs to the porch. For some weird reason, I did really like the black and white brick one that I chose, but I did change it because I just felt like it doesn't really go with the build, and I just went with these like plain white ones. Now I only just recently realized that you can move the staircase into the platform, so get rid of that like top part of the staircase, if that makes sense. And that's a game changer. I've done it before, but I always forget you can do it. And then I get reminded of it and I get very excited about it. So then I go with pretty much white accents for everything. So the door's white, all the window frames are white. I just feel like that matched well with the white patio, and I felt like it was just kind of the vibe. Like I didn't really know. I felt like black would just stand out a little too much, and the contrast with the blue and then the black roofing probably wasn't what I was going for. So we steer clear of that and just did white. Now I definitely struggle with windows. Definitely the first couple builds I did, I just went with so many different styled windows that it looked really weird. That being said, when I see other people do it, I don't find it as weird when they do it. But I don't know why, it just annoys my brain. So I have started kind of trying to keep with the similar windows and stuff like that during these builds. I can't even remember what I did with this build. I literally finished this build like 15 minutes ago and immediately started filming this voiceover once I was done with it, and I still can't remember what I did. Now, sorry, we're going to just have a minute of me doing nothing because I forgot that I put the dogs outside to go to the bathroom and they were getting upset because I didn't let them back in. So I had to go quickly let them back in. This is what happens when I start playing Sims. I lose track of time immediately. But yeah, so I didn't realize I would have cut this out if I knew how long it was of me just not doing anything. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm so sorry. I should have cut this out, definitely. What? That was so much longer than I remember it being. Anyways, so what am I doing here? I'm moving the house? I think this is when I rotate it so I can see it in better lighting, because obviously, as I said, the lighting in this world sucks because it just never hits the way you want it to in the build. Now, realistically, I should have actually rotated it one more to the left. I feel like that would have been the smarter idea, but we'll just ignore that. Now, as you can see, I did actually go with different sort of styled windows on that bottom floor, which is risky for me because, as I was just saying, me and windows, we don't really get along that well. So I do have a bit of trial and error with the windows on the top floor. Now, as for the sides of the house, I have not put any windows yet, but I felt like until I do the floor plan, I probably shouldn't put any more windows because chances are I'm going to have to move the windows that are in the front of the house anyway. So there's no point doing the whole house because obviously I'm going to have to inevitably move all the windows eventually. But obviously now the bottom floor windows, you can't really see that well unless you are looking from like the bottom of the house. So I feel like the top floor windows matter a lot more than the bottom floor. So the bottom floor windows took me like 30 seconds to figure out. The top one, I think I went back and forth for like 10 minutes. This is slightly sped up, by the way. I think it's at like 1.25 times speed. So it's not really sped up that much. It's just a little bit more. So I didn't have to speak for like 40 minutes. Like I only have to speak for like 24 minutes. Because with these speed build videos, I used to do them like heavily cut, like with me talking, and then I would just cut bits out. And that's fine, but I feel like it was just a lot of time wasted for no reason. Like I feel like you guys don't really mind if I take a breath. Like every time I would breathe, I'd cut it out. But like obviously editing took double the amount of time than it really had to. So I hope you guys don't mind just my constant rambling while we look through this together. I also feel like it's cool that you can actually see the trial and error of what I was going through because, we're still learning out here. I was definitely, when I first started playing Sims, I was definitely more interested in the gameplay aspect than the building aspect, and especially CAS. I am not a CAS girl, okay? My Sims just never look that good, and I've just come to terms with that. But as of lately, like, I have just fallen in love with the building of it all. Like, I would like to do more gameplay and stuff like that. I haven't really done any in ages. But the building has just become so much more fun. Also, I did use that window on the second floor, like that main central window. I'm so happy I finally got to use that window. For so long, I have been trying to fit that window into my builds, and I just cannot get it to work. And I don't know why. It's just always been this one thing that I've always wanted to use but couldn't. But I actually feel like it works really well in this build. And now I'm thinking one of the Sims in this house would be like a book nerd. Like they're absolutely obsessed with books. And I was thinking that little central nook on the second floor could be their cute little book room. And then they can have like a daybed-esque out that window. I thought that would look so cute. Obviously, that's jumping the gun a bit. Like we have not thought through the floor plan at all, but that is kind of one Sim I want to do. I'm thinking it's going to be like a family of 4 or 5. I feel like one of the kids will be a set of twins, like a boy and a girl. So they kind of have, I don't know if they're going to share like a big room and then have like polar opposite aesthetics of the sides of the rooms or what. Like obviously we're still working on the storyline. Looking at this now, actually, I kind of want to add a car garage. Obviously, once you see what I do with the backyard, you'll see that I have to change the backyard if I decide to do that. But I actually think that'd be a really good idea. It would add a bit more realism, and again, it will take off the symmetry of the house a little bit. So leave me with that. Maybe next episode or next video when I decorate it, I might add that because I feel like that would actually add a lot to the build. And also because the backyard is huge, which is fine, but like, I don't know what I'm going to do with all that space. It's kind of stressing me out a bit. I could put like a shed in the backyard or something, and then like the dad could do like woodwork or something like that, because that's a lot of, like, realistically that's a lot of space, because I could definitely get like a nice pool in there and stuff like that. But also, so I have had 2 legacy challenges on this channel so far, both of which have remained unfinished. The first one is because I lost that save, and the second one is because obviously I have since lost that save as well. But now that I have a new computer, I would really like to start a new legacy challenge, and I feel like I have gotten slightly better at building than I was when I first started my legacy challenge. So hopefully if I do start a new one, it'll be a little more enticing to watch, because hopefully my houses will be a little bit nicer than they were. Now, I was gonna originally add a gate to this fence, but I just couldn't find one that looked good. And even when I did, like, I found the one that matches the fencing, I really just don't know why, I just did not like it. So I ended up just leaving them open like that for now. I will probably change it. I don't know, it just seems a little bit funny to me to just be able to walk straight into the backyard. But that is what it is for now. Anyway, it's now time for my favourite part, which is putting up all the trees. Now, I don't know what it is, but I feel like trees just save an entire build, okay? Every time I think, oh, my build kind of looks awful, I chuck in a tree or 2 and then we're good. So honestly, in this world too, like Newcrest, I feel like it's really easy to just add a couple of trees in and then make it look like it fits into the world. I feel like some other maps, it's a little bit more difficult. Like, is it Solani? I've really struggled to get builds to look like they belong in Solani. Whereas Newcrest, I feel like it's a lot easier to do that. Now, I was going to add some rocks and stuff, because obviously to the left of this tree, there's a lot of rocky terrain, but it just didn't look quite right. So I've just left it for now, but I obviously might go back and add some, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I did obviously add some hedges. Now, at first I did downsize them, but I actually ended up deleting them and putting in just the normal size ones, because I feel like it just looked a bit better. I just feel like that's such a suburban house thing to do, is have hedges out the front. That being said, I feel like a lot of my builds, I usually have hedges out the front. It's just such a good way to contrast the build with the world a little bit, and also because obviously every house I do is on a platform, so I feel like it makes it look a little less funny, because sometimes I think the houses do look a bit funny just being on this random platform. I did end up using this like stone foundation for, I guess I keep calling it platform, I guess it is a foundation. So I used this like stone one for the foundation. I don't know, I might change it. I obviously like didn't actually get a good look at it because the hedges are around the front, so I just didn't really think about it. Now, I did use this like black wood planks for the patio, which is a little random, I know, but I kind of like the contrast of it. I keep saying contrast, you guys are gonna be so sick of me, but I did actually like how it looked, you know, in reference to the roofing. Like, it kind of is a similar color. Next, I added this like blue flower bush into the shrubbery at the front, because I feel like it kind of made it look a little bit more realistic. And then I did add these and then change the colors to blue for the flowers, and I thought that looked really good too. Like, it kind of meshed in well, and it was just nice to have a bit of a breakup of the color in the front of the house. Now, again, yeah, I was just adding random bits and pieces like that pipe down the side of the house as well, just for a little bit extra stuff to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic, because obviously just the build on its own, you know, it needs a little bit more going on. So yeah, I just added a bunch of random things around the house. Chances are I'll probably get rid of half of these things or change them once I obviously start decorating. But for now, I feel like it's really good. Now, please bear with me for this part, because I actually couldn't figure out how to move objects freely with my new computer, because it's different shortcuts for things than it was on my previous computer. So this is me trying to figure out how to freely move this flower. And then I changed the camera angle, like the camera settings, by accident. I don't know how I did that, but you know, we're getting there. But yeah, I just added these little flowers to the front. Again, I don't know if I'm going to keep them. I might actually change them to lights, like little lights at the front of the house. But I just knew I wanted something there, so I just put those there for now. Hopefully it'll remind me when I'm decorating that I should change it to something else. And I did also add flower boxes to the 2 windows on the second floor. I don't really know if that was necessary or needed, but I just felt like I wanted something on that second floor. I will most likely end up getting rid of them, because I think it just looked a little silly. Like, I don't really know if I actually like how that looks or not. But that's where we're at right now. So we'll see what we think of it when we log back on next time. But that's pretty much everything, guys. I mean, I put all the trees up, done a little bit of terraining out the front, but yeah, that is the finished product, and I'll see you all in the next video.